is also a claim the law is the law, but law is that you can only amend your income tax for 3 years. There are some loopholes we're looking into, but that would only possibly be 7, but I don't think so. So, you know, there's been lots of government talk and lots of government this and that.
Have there been any promises? Because I haven't heard of any promises coming.
Yeah, we have a few interesting people. Congressman Meek down in Florida and Gary Ackerman out on Long Island, a wonderful man. You know, but they're only 2 people.
What are they promising you?
They're not promising anything. They've introduced legislation to let us amend our income tax for 10 years.
Oh.
But even 10 years is not fair, and that given that what Mr. Madoff has said.
Would you take it, though, in exchange for, I mean, basically, what are your options?
Well, I have to take what the government wants, whatever crumbs they want to give me, I have to take. I'm broke. Yeah. You know, you know, I'm ruined.
So by amending your tax returns, I mean, at least you'd get some relief. You know,
well,
too bad they can't give back what they took, the government. Maybe we could have written that into one of these stimulus.
But this gets very complicated because you're paying taxes on money you never made.
Oh, it's even more. You know, this thing clawback. Well, Mr. Madoff paid his staff of 125 people.
He paid taxes for the money he was making?
That's an interesting question.
I don't know the answer to that. That's a great question. I don't know if he paid taxes.
And I'm really sorry for what happened to you and your family. You seem like a really nice man. And it's a shame that so many people were taken advantage of. But this is so much proof for all of us of the total lack of failure of our government, where we have representatives who are supposed to be looking out for the needs of the people, and they're not doing that. What this reminds me of is when the FBI were notified that, hey, we have men flying planes who don't want to learn how to land the planes.
Right.
Okay? And there was no action taken on that. And what happened? We had 9/11. This just brings me back to how we have an utter lack of a responsive and efficient government.
You know, President Obama is right about one thing, and that is we need change. Unfortunately, I don't see change coming. I see a lot of debt and a lot of more money thrown at companies that are going to go bankrupt soon anyway. You know, what I think we do need, and this is kind of funny, I've never thought in this way before, maybe we need people like the rabbi and myself to be unprofessional. We're not politicians, but we're people in touch with people. Maybe we need more real people in
Well, that's how it started. That's how our government started. It started with a bunch of people who were sitting around saying that we have a vision, and that's how most movements in this country did start. They didn't start with pure politicians. They started with regular folk.
That's exactly what I was going to say, because one of the things, I just recently read a book by Michael Novak, a Christian scholar, called On Two Wings. And the book is basically quotes from the Founding Fathers, Thomas Jefferson and James Madison and Paine and so on. And his subtitle there is The Basis of Democracy of this Country on Jewish Metaphysics. And he does it with documentation. It's not like a theory. It's quotes. And that really struck me, the contrast. And I speak again as a Jew, simply because Madoff was a Jew. That the Jewish metaphysics, as he puts it there, just to quote the most famous line of all, these Founding Fathers, they got together and they wrote these words, that we hold these truths are self-evident, inalienable rights, all men are created equal. If I wrote it, I would have said all people are created equal. All people are created equal. And they don't write there, the purpose or the mission statement of this country is to make money, is to be competitive, is to allow everybody freedom. If you did not have that foundation, you would never have had a climate of immigrants coming from all over the world.
Right. People would have stayed where they were.
So I'm right.
Right?
Like they're starting to do now.
Yeah. No, they are. I rode the elevator the other day with a man from Eastern Europe, and he said, you know, it's so funny. Your country looks so much like mine now. He goes, I'm just visiting now. I'm not staying. And I thought, wow. Our country looks like yours? And he said, yeah, you know, we have the high taxation. We've got the socialist this and this. And I was like, whoa. Well, we're still America, dude. Right. Let me school you on that.
I just wanted to say the final thing. I was wondering why the president, of all people, shouldn't declare, you know, when the machine is broken, go back to the point of departure.
Well, and I'm curious to know, Larry, you say that you want to play a 7-minute video for the president You mean President Barack Obama you're hoping to get a sit-down with.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going about doing that?
Well, I'm a very resourceful guy, but, you know, all my life people have been telling me, Larry, you know what's wrong with you? And I always used to say, what? What's wrong with you is that you're fair. I'm a fair man, and I'm not asking for anything out of the ordinary. I think President Obama works for me, and I think I'm entitled to sit down and chat with him. Sure, he's got many problems, and listen, we all have many problems. But this is just a terrible social injustice that the government basically has turned their back on. And doesn't charity begin at the home, or, you know?
So seeing Bernie Madoff go off to jail first and then prison yesterday wasn't really the catharsis that you were looking for?
No. You know, Bernie Madoff will suffer his own hell, okay? I've never worked, from day one when I found out, everybody said, well, you're mad at Bernie Madoff. I'm not mad at Bernie Madoff. I'm mad at the United States government. We have such serious issues. This is the tip of the iceberg, you know. I don't want to get too complicated, but the government has stepped in and tried to salvage this economy in such bad ways that if we have a banking failure, which our government's going to fail. Everybody says, well, how is that going to happen? We're the government, we can print more money. And, well, people don't pay attention to one fact. The government has gone out on a limb, and they have increased the FDIC insurance in every bank from $100,000 to $250,000. Okay, well, hold on. Then, up until December of this year, they have gone out and put $250,000 per account in every money market fund in the United States. Do you know how many trillions of dollars that is? If this system fails,